Hey, students, meantime, at Stanford University just will not give up. A new report that dozens of them are now targeting the law school's dean, who dared to apologize to a federal judge who got heckled there. Mike Davis says too many law students are, quote, entitled woke babies. He joins us next and promises not to mince words.
Never does. Thanks, John. Some students at Stanford Law are now calling on the school to fire the DEI dean who scolded a conservative judge at a recent school event.
So you've invited me to speak here, and I'm being heckled nonstop. And I'm just asking for an administrator to sign.
They write in one of the student newspapers that the dean has no place at the school and are urging Stanford to expel anti-speech zealots. But these students, the ones who are pushing back on what happened, appear to be few and far between. A new report claims the woke mob of students is targeting administrators who dared apologize. Wow. Mike Davis is here, president of the Article 3 Project, former chief nominations counsel at the Senate Judiciary Committee, and a former clerk to Supreme Court Justice Neil Gorsuch. Mike, thank you so much for being here. Your take on this?
This is outrageous what these Stanford law students are doing here. You have a federal appellate judge flying halfway across the country to go speak to the students on their campus. That is a good thing for students. And instead of having a spirited debate or welcoming him, they want to shout him down. And it's led by this associate dean for diversity, equity, and inclusion, this DEI dean, this useless dean that they shouldn't have in the first place, this Tyrion Steinbach. And she's the ringleader, getting these cupcake students fired up, going in, shouting him down during his speech, saying the most crude, obnoxious things possible. This dean should face a bar complaint with the California bar, and these students should face discipline with Stanford University. The dean should be fired, no question. She should be fired. These students should be disciplined. The most crude, obnoxious ones should be expelled, and this is going to haunt them the rest of their lives. The ones that make it to being a lawyer, they're going to have this follow them when they go to law firms, when they go to government jobs. Their clients are going to know about this. Their law firms are going to know about this. Their lives are, they're going to pay a price for this, and we're going to make sure that happens at the Article 3 Project.
Really interesting. Jonathan Turley joined us on this as it was developing yesterday. Here was his take.
Harvard Crimson did an interview recently with a 90-year-old Republican professor as sort of like they discovered a white buffalo on the plains. I mean, this interview, they virtually poked this poor guy with sticks, describing what a Republican is like to students at Harvard. That's what we're facing in academia. There are very few alternative views given to students.
My question is this an isolated incident, or is this happening at universities all over the country today?
No, I mean, this is not our parents' or our grandparents' Democrat Party. These are not liberals who love America and just disagree with Republicans on the best way to get there. These are leftists. These are people who hate America. They hate due process. They hate equality, and it just shows. And they're actually quite proud of the fact that they're this intolerant and want to shout down a federal judge on at one of the top law schools in the country. It's despicable, and something needs to happen here. This dean needs to get fired. These students need to be disciplined.
Yeah. Well, the Stanford Review, with its take on firing Steinbach, the university's apology, the Review writes, will be completely meaningless unless concrete actions are taken to rid the administration of anti-speech zealots. If Stanford cares about free speech, it must fire any administrator who actively encourages these unruly actions against it. To that point, where were the other administrators? Where were the other deans? Why wasn't anybody else stepping in to support him, to protect him?
Well, 4 of them were sitting in the room with the crazy students heckling him. So that shows you where the university is. Let me just say this to Stanford law students. I know federal judges at every level saw this. It has angered them. It's going to hurt your clerkship chances. And I would say to Stanford's donors, call Stanford University president and let him know that this is unacceptable, and you're going to pull their funding if there are not consequences here. If this DEI dean is not fired, if these students are not disciplined, you're going to pull their funding.
Just want to share this with you. Apparently, this is according to the Washington Free Beacon and some eyewitnesses, and there's some photographs they're including on the walls in the school. Hundreds of Stanford students, activists on Monday, they lined the hallways to protest the school's dean for apologizing to the judge. I mean, that is where this story is at this moment. Mike, thanks for joining us on that. We appreciate it.
Thank you.